Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to be doing a short little tutorial on how to work with wax seals. I bought these wax seal stamps from Temu, the online marketplace, and I also bought a collection of sealing wax, just like this. You can also buy it in traditional little sticks like this, where you light them like a candle and drip them. And this is the one I was the most familiar with. I also bought from Amazon some metallic markers to do a little coloring on them. And oh, I should mention, also from Amazon, I bought these great little molds. They're metal, and you place them down on a silicone mat that comes with these little stencils, and then you fill them up with wax, and then you can place your wax seal into them, and it leaves this great little like scalloped edge, and you can turn them into shapes. So we're going to be looking at all of those things. The first thing I wanted to mention was, before you start working with wax seals, I like to put mine on a little ice pack that I keep off to the side. And what I like to do is just place them on it right there. This one's kind of bowed in the middle, but either that or in like an ice cube bath, because it cools this down. And when you set it down on that hot wax, it makes it, seal very quickly. So that's just a little tip there for you. So if you see me reaching off camera for that, that's what's happening. So I'm going to put my seals there. The ones I'm going to be working with today are this really cool little compass and a little rose, and then this one is just really dirty. I forgot to clean it. This is my monogram. This is a G, and I got this in England like 1995, I think. So you could see how it's, they're pretty much the same over the years, except now they put a little lip on them like this. So I'm going to be setting these up on my little cooled surface, my little ice pack. All right, and then this is a card I'm referencing that was in this Monday's video where we did the seal. First, they're sort of set aside, and then you can apply them to your cards. You can also do the sealing wax directly to the paper. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that today too. So the first thing, once you've got some cooling going on, we're going to just do the traditional method of where you're just taking one of these candle kind of situations. We're lighting that, and we're going to be dripping right here directly onto the paper, and then using the seal. So I'm just going to, this is also something I got on Temu. You can get these on Amazon, and they're just little platforms. You put the candle in there, a little platform for you to put your little melting spoon, just like that. It's kind of a hands-free situation. There we go. So I'm going to use that flame that I've got going on. Now you have to be very careful with wax, because of course wax burns, and you want to be careful what you're dripping here onto your paper. So I'm just going to be doing a little circular bubble. Circular bubble, circular circle, a circle of wax onto my paper here. Make sure you guys can see this. And when you're using the little sticks, it does take a little bit of time. That's why using a little spoon is very popular right now. I'm going to blow that out. And then I'm going to use my old school. You just want to make sure you know where it's the top and the bottom of your seal. And you're just going to place that right in the wax and just let it sit there for about a minute. While we're waiting for that, we're going to take our little holder here, and the next thing we're going to be doing is using some of these little shapes with the little silicone mat. I think I'll do the scallop, because that is just the one that got me to purchase it in the first place. So how much? This is quite a large area in comparison to that wax stamp. So how much do you need to put in here? That was something I kind of had to figure out. So we're going to take our little spoon, place it right here, And let's do some green, I think. It takes about 6 of these little pellets to fill up one of these little shapes. There we go, come on out. All right, and then while that's going on, let's take a look at this one. There we go, and we've got that seal in place, and this is just ready to go on a card front or in a journal page without any problem. Now you can also take some of these markers. You can take like this gold one, and you can draw over that raised area just to highlight that little monogram there. And wax seals, as I said, I bought mine on Temu. I also bought a lot of these things on Amazon. They're very, very readily available. There you go. All right, we're ready to use the wax seal mold. I think my wax is nice and hot. You don't want it to be bubbling or sizzling, just really liquidy. If it's too thick, put it back on the little flame there, let it heat some more. So we're gonna go ahead and start at the middle here and just let that wax spread out, but you don't want it to spread all the way to the edges. We're gonna let that stamp, that seal do that work. All right, and then put this back on here just for a minute because we're gonna do something else with it. This one is the little flower. Push that right down there and just let it sit. And then this one is still hot. We're going to take what's left over and see if I have any left over in there. And we're going to be just tipping it out to make a couple of little dots that we're going to use on our card. There's one. There's not much left. See if I have any more here. And these are great. They just act as sort of little like enamel dots or little nail heads, little jewels on your card. And then you can just glue them on your card when they're flat. You could do this directly on your card surface, but I think that allows for a problem with what if it doesn't turn out right, then it's on your card. So I like to do them separately. All right, so now I've just got a little wipe and I'm going to clean this off while it's hot. And this is how you would change colors. You could use a wet paper towel. I just grabbed what I had. But it's really helpful if it's still hot. There you go, it's ready for next time. All right, so this is a nice cold stamp, so that should be ready. We're gonna go ahead, pull that off. It's a great image. Go ahead and lift off our frame. There we go. I love that nice little scallop. Now I can take, I think, the silver here. And I'm just gonna lift this a little closer so you can see what's going on here. Make sure I've got some silver flowing. Yes, I do. And you can just go ahead right over those leaves. And right over the blossom, just kind of outline. All right, and when that is dry, you can see how these little dots just come right up. We're going to let that continue to dry for a moment, and I've got a card right here that I've done a little stenciling on. I'm not going to worry about doing the center, but I just placed my stencil right here, used a little black ink and went over it very lightly so it's got a nice gray finish. And then I just moved it over and aligned the stencil, really making sure to get the outside edges. I've got my little postcard here from my pack from Temu and just inked the edges here. And then I went ahead and just added a little couple of pieces of ribbon. And so now this is ready to come right off. And then I can just glue that right there. How cute is that? All right, now we can just add some glue right to the back of that seal. And then we've got our cute little dots. And I've got a couple of little flowers. Oops. Put those right there. Ooh, whoops, glue going everywhere here. And then you can just add your little dots randomly. Add a greeting, glue this down, and you are good to go for a sweet little card. You guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun with these wax seals and the molds and the different stamps. I hope you give those a try. I'll link everything down below. Don't forget to check back on Monday for another video, and thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.